This man loves you so much, but he has another woman who. Archangel Michael says, there is something happening behind your back that your heart has sensed, but your mind keeps pushing it away. You've been trying to convince yourself that you're just overthinking, just too emotional, or maybe even too insecure. But I come to you today with divine clarity. The truth is deeper than you imagined. He does love you. His soul is entangled with yours in ways that even he cannot comprehend. When he looks at you, something inside him softens, heals, and yearns for peace. But there is something you must know before it swallows you whole. A woman, unknown to you, is feeding off his confusion. This other woman, she's not random. She came into his life in a moment of weakness. She saw the cracks forming, the space between you growing, and she slipped in through that gap like smoke through a broken window. She didn't have to try hard. He was already questioning things, not because of you, but because of the chaos within him. He never stopped loving you, but he stopped fighting for the love. That's where the danger began. He became vulnerable, distracted, and lost in his doubts. That's when she entered like a whisper, like a shadow that pretended to be light. She speaks to the part of him that fears commitment. She makes him feel wild, reckless, untouchable. And for a moment, in her presence, he forgets about responsibility. He forgets about promises. He forgets about you. But do not be fooled. This is not love. This is manipulation dressed as comfort. She plays games with his head while you pray for his peace. She offers thrill, while you offer loyalty. But the truth is, he sees the difference. Archangel Michael says, I have watched the way your spirit has cried in silence. I have seen the way you waited for messages, for answers, for him to turn and see what he's risking. Heaven has heard every silent tear fall from your eyes. He has moments when he wants to come clean. He imagines falling at your feet, admitting everything, and begging you not to leave. But he's afraid you'll walk away, afraid he'll lose both of you, afraid he'll be exposed as the weak man he's pretending not to be. There's a part of him that still thinks he can juggle both worlds. He convinces himself that he's not really doing anything wrong, that he's just figuring things out. But every message he sends to her behind your back is a dagger to your trust, even if you haven't seen them yet. She knows about you. Oh yes, she knows. That's why she's clinging so tightly. She knows he loves you more than her, and that terrifies her. So, she gives him ultimatums in secret. She plays the victim. She tells him you're the reason he feels suffocated. He listens, but something inside him twists. He doesn't feel that way when you're near. He doesn't feel trapped when your hand is in his. It's her voice that creates the storm, but your presence is what silences it. There was a time he would have fought armies just to have you, but now he stands between two doors, one of truth, one of betrayal, and he's staring at both, unable to move, paralyzed by guilt, fear, and temptation. You feel it in his touch. It's different now, not because he loves you less, but because he's carrying a weight he won't confess. He thinks if he acts normal, you'll never find out. But your soul already knows. Your intuition has been screaming. That dream you had, that sign you saw, that strange gut feeling when his phone buzzed at midnight. It wasn't a coincidence. It was your spirit warning you. The other woman pretends she doesn't care. But deep down, she fears you. She knows she could never be you. That's why she manipulates him, twists the truth, and pretends that what they have is real. But it's not. It's built on lies, and lies always collapse. Archangel Michael says, he is being tested. And so are you. Your love is powerful, but it cannot heal someone who chooses to stay broken. The heavens are guiding you now, not toward heartbreak, but toward clarity. There will be a moment very soon when the truth will fall into your hands like thunder. Whether it's a message, a conversation, or a confession, something undeniable is coming. And when it does, you'll have to make a decision. Do you stay and help him rebuild? Or do you walk away and protect your peace? Neither path is easy, but both lead to a form of healing. You are not being punished, you are being prepared for a new beginning. He will cry. Yes, he will. When he realizes what he's about to lose. Because despite everything, he still loves you. Not her. You. But love without honesty is poison. And right now, he is feeding both you and her with versions of himself that cannot survive in the light. Something must break, and it will. She will try to keep him. She'll beg, promise, even threaten. But nothing built on destruction ever lasts. And deep down, he already knows she was just a distraction, not destiny. He dreams of you more than you know. His heart still holds your voice in the quiet hours. But he fears you'll see him as a monster. That's why he's delaying the truth. But the delay is only creating more pain. There's still time. Time for redemption. Time for truth. Time for healing. But only if he steps into the light. Only if he lets go of her, once and for all. You didn't come this far to be treated like an option. You are not a second choice. You are not just someone to fall back on. You are a blessing, a mirror of divine love, and your worth is not up for debate. Archangel Michael says, the universe is rearranging things behind the scenes. You may feel lost now, but a revelation is coming, and it will bring every hidden thing into the light. He will have to choose, and so will you. But know this. The heavens are on your side. This story isn't over. In fact, the most powerful chapter is just beginning. Whether it ends in reunion or release, you will rise stronger than ever. You will not be defined by his confusion, but by your courage. And to those who try to replace you, manipulate him, or steal your crown, they will learn that what's meant for you cannot be taken. Keep watching. Keep listening. Keep trusting your inner voice. The moment of truth is almost here. And remember, if you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. He sits in silence when you're not around. Looking at the messages he's afraid to delete, afraid to reply to, afraid to acknowledge. He thinks about the path he's on and how far he's drifted from the man he used to be when he first met you. Back then, everything about you lit a fire inside him. Your laughter, your truth, your heart. It wasn't just physical. You made him feel seen. But now, because of that other woman whispering poison into his ears, he started doubting the light you carry. She's not stronger than you, but she's clever. She plays the cool woman. She tells him you're too much, too emotional, too intense. And when he's up weak, he believes her lies, because they're easier to digest than the truth about his own cowardice. But even in her arms, he doesn't feel peace. Even in her fake comfort, he's haunted by the thought of you. Because love isn't a game. And his heart knows which woman made him better, and which one is slowly destroying him. She pretends not to care if he talks to you, but she watches his phone. She checks the time he takes to reply. She calculates his interest like a machine trying to measure love, and love cannot be measured. She doesn't love him. She loves what being with him proves to herself. She's not in love, she's in competition. With you, with herself, with the ghost of a relationship she will never understand. And that's why her presence is dangerous. Because she doesn't want him healed. She wants him hooked. She doesn't want his growth, she wants his dependency. She's not feeding his soul. She's feeding his wounds. Smile, memories of your loyalty, the prayers you made behind closed doors. He fights it, but deep down, he knows. A storm is coming. The kind that doesn't knock. The kind that tears away every hidden thing and lays the truth bare. You will be standing in the center of it, but you won't be alone. Heaven stands beside you. He's going to slip. A message to her will be sent to the wrong person. A friend will tell you something she overheard. Or maybe he'll just confess. Either way, the illusion is breaking. Slowly, loudly, and inevitably. The woman knows this too. That's why she started acting desperate. You may feel this in your energy. Like something's closing in. That's not paranoia. That's your divine spirit sensing interference. She may pretend she's harmless. She may act sweet. But she has planted seeds of doubt in his mind. Every time he questions your love, remember, it didn't start with him. It started with her whispers. She asks him, "Do you really love her?" But what she wants is for him to doubt it. She doesn't need the answer. She just needs him to hesitate. But what she doesn't know is, love leaves echoes. And your love left echoes all over his soul. He remembers the way you looked at him when you first said, "I love you." He remembers the silence you sat through when he couldn't speak. He remembers how you forgave him, even when you had every reason not to. He may pretend to forget, but memory doesn't fade like that. Not real ones. Not the kind carved into the heart. They haunt him now, even when he tries to escape into her arms. You are not the woman who broke him. You are the woman who tried to build him, hold him, love him, through every fire. And he knows it. Deeply, painfully, regretfully. That's why when he's with her, he's never fully present. She's noticed it too. He looks at her. But he's thinking of you. He laughs, but it's forced. He touches her, but his soul doesn't move. Because the truth is, he's only pretending. And that pretend world is starting to fall apart. Archangel Michael says, "I have sent signs into his life to wake him up. Sudden dreams, repeating numbers, emotional triggers. He is being given a choice, return to truth or stay in the darkness." He may seem confused, even cold. But it's not because he's heartless. It's because guilt is a heavy chain, and every day he delays honesty, it tightens around his neck. You may wonder if he loves her. He doesn't. He needs her. Not out of passion, but out of escape. And anything built out of fear will always collapse under the weight of truth. You were never competing with her. That's the biggest lie. She stepped into a space that was never meant for her. She touched what was sacred. And now, the consequences are echoing louder. She played the role. The comforter. The friend. The "I understand you" woman. But deep down, she knows she's standing in borrowed space. And that's why she tries so hard to erase your name from his memory. But your name is engraved in places she cannot reach. His chest still aches when he sees your picture. His throat still tightens when he hears your voice in a memory. And his soul still knows. It chose you first. You may ask, then why hasn't he come back? Because shame is a prison, and he built it brick by brick. And now he doesn't know how to escape it without breaking you again. He tells himself, she's better without me. He thinks stepping back is protection. But it's cowardice dressed as love. Because true love doesn't hide. It heals, it confronts, it rises. He's scared. Scared to face your tears. Scared you'll see the version of him that got lost in lust and lies. Scared you'll never look at him the same again. But what he doesn't understand is, he already lost pieces of you in his silence. He already burned bridges in his delay. And if he doesn't come clean soon, he won't have a heart left to offer. She thinks she won. But what she doesn't know is, love isn't won by invasion. Love is earned by honesty, loyalty, growth. And in all those things, she will always come second. Your silence is power. The way you carry yourself despite the betrayal, it shakes him. It makes him wonder how he ever allowed himself to drift so far. You became his mirror, and he couldn't bear to see himself. But the storm is coming, and when it arrives, it will wash away every lie. Archangel Michael says, "Be still, but be prepared. You are about to receive something that will change everything. Evidence, words, tears, confessions, whatever form it takes, it will come. You will see his heart naked, raw, trembling. You will know everything, not because you chased it, but because divine justice never forgets. And when that truth comes to your doorstep, you will not tremble. You will rise, with grace, with clarity, with strength no one can question. She won't understand how you still stand, how you still carry light. But that's because she never understood you to begin with. He will beg, maybe not with words, but with eyes, silence, or actions. You'll see the man who got lost, and you'll have to decide if he's worth saving, or releasing. But know this. Your heart was never the mistake. This story isn't about betrayal. It's about awakening. His, and yours. He can't sleep, not because of guilt alone, but because your silence is louder than her presence. Her arms are not a refuge. Her words are not healing. She talks, but all he hears is your absence. He sees your name in the smallest things. In songs, in places, in passing conversations. He wonders if he can still be forgiven, if the damage is too deep, if the door to your heart is sealed for good. But you're not the same person anymore. You've grown. You've cried. You've sat with pain long enough to turn it into wisdom. You don't beg anymore. You observe. You listen. And most of all, you protect your soul now. The shift in you terrifies him, because he knows the version of you who once would have accepted every excuse is gone. This new you require truth. And he's not sure he can survive giving it to you. The other woman senses this. She's clinging tighter now. More desperate. She feels you in the room even when you're not there. You're the invisible presence haunting her lies. He tries to pull away from her, but she threatens him. She hints at exposing him. She holds secrets he's not ready to face. That's why he hesitates, why he stalls, why he looks in the mirror and doesn't recognize the man staring back. But Archangel Michael says, the chains around him are loosening. Your prayers have reached higher realms than you realize. There's been a divine shaking in his life, and it's cracking the false foundation. A message is coming, not a generic apology, not a weak excuse, a real, trembling, soul-deep confession. You will not have to search for it. It will find you. When it does, he'll be different, stripped of pride, naked with regret. There will be tears, not just because he hurt you, but because he betrayed himself. She will not go quietly. When she realizes she's losing him, she will fight like a cornered snake. She'll try to damage your image. She'll twist the story. But you won't need to defend yourself. Your truth will shine without effort. You will be offered a choice. Not between two people, but between your peace and your past. He will kneel before you, not always literally, but spiritually. He'll admit what you already knew but never said out loud. The late-night calls, the secret meetings, the lies stacked like cards in a house about to fall. And you will stand tall. Not because it didn't hurt, but because you healed anyway. You'll remember the nights you stayed up wondering if you were enough. You'll remember the silence, the gaslighting, the excuses. And you'll realize, you were never the problem. He was broken. She was broken. And in their brokenness, they created a fantasy to escape responsibility. But fantasies always end. And now? Reality is knocking. You may still love him. That's okay. Love doesn't make you weak. It shows the strength of your heart. But now, you'll love yourself more. She may try to come to you. Don't be surprised. She'll pretend she was also used. She'll act like she's the victim. But you'll see right through it. Because real recognizes real. And you, beloved, are real. There's a power rising in you that can't be ignored anymore. It's why everything in your life has felt like pressure lately. That pressure was preparation. You're being positioned for the next chapter, a chapter she was never meant to be part of. Archangel Michael says, you were never forgotten. Even when it felt like everyone was lying, everyone was hiding, and you were carrying all the weight alone, heaven was watching, protecting, waiting. Now the tables are turning. What was hidden will be exposed. What was broken will be revealed. And what was stolen will be restored. He will try to start over with you. But it must come from truth, from effort, from daily rebuilding. No shortcuts. No lies. No more pretending. You are not the same woman he walked away from. You are wiser, sharper, stronger. And now, he must prove he's not the same man who let you down. Because love is not enough without action. Let him feel the weight of your worth. Let her feel the fire of your truth. Let the world watch as you rise, not from pity, but from power. This pain will not define you. This betrayal will not bury you. This chapter may have broken your heart, but the next one will awaken your soul. If he comes back to you, let it be because he chose truth, not because he ran out of lies. If he asks for forgiveness, let it be because he has changed, not because he's afraid of losing. You were not created to chase, to beg, or to be a backup plan. You were created to be loved fully, honestly, and without competition. And if that's not what he can give, then let him go, because something far greater is on its way. A connection that doesn't confuse you. A love that doesn't break you. A presence that feels like home, not war. Archangel Michael says, "My final message to you, do not fear the truth, even if it stings, even if it breaks, because on the other side of truth is freedom. You are stepping into a season of revelation, of reward, of rising, and nothing they did can stop what God has written for you. You will be loved by someone who chooses you every single day, without lies, without distractions, without another woman in the background. The man who let you down may or may not be the one who grows into that role. That's his journey. Yours is to walk boldly forward, no longer chained to uncertainty. Because peace is better than fake love. Because your destiny cannot be delayed by betrayal. Because you deserve a love that holds your hand in public, and guards your heart in private. And you will have it. You will. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. He may return, broken and undone, standing in the wreckage of his own choices. Not because he's looking for comfort, but because he has nowhere else left to run. She drained him. Her game exhausted him. And now the only truth he recognizes is you. Your silence became his reckoning. Every time you stopped explaining yourself, you stopped absorbing blame, you stopped chasing clarity, he began to hear what words never could. He heard your strength in your distance. He saw your value in your absence. She, on the other hand, demanded attention. She screamed for validation. She poked his wounds. And in the end, she tried to become you. But the truth is, no one can be you. Not in soul. Not in love. Not in light. Now she stands in confusion. She thought she won. But she only won a man who was never fully hers. She fed off his brokenness, but she could never reach his soul. Because his soul never left you. The day will come when he finally speaks. You'll hear the shaking in his voice. You'll feel the regret bleeding through his words. And you'll have all the power, not to punish, but to decide. Because forgiveness doesn't mean you forget. Forgiveness means you no longer allow what happened to control what happens next. And maybe you'll give him another chance, but on your terms. Maybe you'll close that door with finality, and open a new one. Either way, you'll choose not from pain, but from power. Archangel Michael says, you've passed the hardest part. The tests of patience, loyalty, and silence. You walked through fire and didn't lose your grace. Now, you are stepping into divine justice. Everything that was stolen emotionally is being returned spiritually. Peace will flood your nights again. Laughter will return to your lips. The heaviness that sat on your chest for months will finally lift. And it will not be because he made it right. It will be because you chose to rise, regardless of who apologized. The universe has been watching. Heaven has been keeping records. Not just of what they did, but of how you responded. You didn't retaliate. You didn't expose. You didn't beg. Instead, you waited. You focused. You cried. You healed. And now? You are being blessed in ways they'll never see coming. One day, he'll see you with someone new. Someone who doesn't flinch at honesty. Someone who doesn't play games. Someone who chooses you in front of the whole world, loudly, clearly, and proudly. He'll remember what he threw away. He'll remember the loyalty he broke. And she'll watch from a distance, realizing she was never the threat, she was the lesson. You were the blessing. You were the safe place. You were the light. And now, you are the storm, the rebirth, the woman who glowed even after being shattered. Let them both watch in silence as your life becomes everything they tried to sabotage. Let your peace be the loudest revenge. Let your joy be the answer to every lie spoken against you. There is no need for revenge. No need for drama. Your elevation is enough. The universe has already turned the tables, and everything hidden is now being revealed. Let him feel it. Let her see it. Let the truth rise. Because you, my love, are no longer the woman who waits. You are the woman who walks away, and glows. Archangel Michael says, heaven's light surrounds you now. Your heart has been seen, protected, and honored. Everything that left you shattered has become the reason you shine brighter. You were not broken. You were cracked open, to let the light in. And now, the world will see it. So will he. So will she. And most importantly, you will too. Now step forward. And don't look back. This was not the end. It was your beginning. And it starts now.